Ludmila Pestun, Associate Operation Officer at the IFC Sustainable Crop Production and Smallholder Supply Chain Platform, to step in and moderate this panel. Ludmila joined, take a seat. Ludmila joined IFC Agribusiness Advisory Team in 2016 and since then has worked mainly with sustainable crop production and smallholder supply chain platforms. She has been involved in a range of projects, including Niger Irrigation Program, Heineken Rwanda, Nespresso Reviving Origins, and others. And since 2021, she is closely involved in developing and deploying private sector solutions for improved nutrition. Also, please welcome our distinguished panelists. We have Mr. Bharat Bangari. He is lead nutrient enriched crops at Gain, and he will be connecting us virtually. Also, we have Mohamed Abul Khayer Mia, Chief Scientist Officer Agronomy Division at the Bangladesh Agricultural Research Institute, Bari. Please take your seat at the stage. Okay. And also we have Muhammad Miznur Rahman, is Business Operations Manager at ACI Seeds. Please take your seat at the stage. And also I will have a mic that after the discussion, there will be Q&A session. Good.
Yeah, and if we have ushers to bring people from outside, because I think some people left the room, and thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're here to discuss biofortification and other nutrition strategies at the farm level. This is a topic that's been hinted on a couple of times today already. And we have distinguished experts with me to shed more light on what it is and why it is important. But before we jump into asking them questions, I have a question for you. Who and which country developed the first variety of rice that was biofortified with zinc? Any other versions? I have Bangladesh. Well, it is Bangladesh, yes. All right. So as you heard, my name is Mila Peston. I'm here representing IFC's Sustainable Crop Production Platform. And I've been working on crop production projects for over 8 years, and we touch different aspects of crop production. It's irrigation and good agronomic practices and soil health. And in our projects with different clients, with off-takers and input providers and large-scale producers, we realize that malnutrition is a business risk for our clients, and it needs to be addressed. And biofortification emerged as one of the strategies to address this risk, to address malnutrition at the farmer level and broader population. There are other strategies as well. We hope we're going to touch on them. And I have a very interesting panel with me. I don't see our online participants. Bharat, is he here? I cannot see the screen very well, but I hope he can hear us. So we have Bharat representing GAIN, and we also have Dr. Mohammed representing the Agri Research in Bangladesh, and we have Mohammed Rahman representing private sector. So I think we're going to hear very interesting perspectives. And I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and then I will make sure we have time to turn to the audience and actually have some good Q&A as well. So I would appreciate if there are a couple of mics in the audience available in 20, 25 minutes, maybe. All right. So the first question is, let's talk about the concept of biofortification. What is it and why it is important? And Bangladesh has rich experience. We're very opportune to be here to discuss this topic in Bangladesh. So what are the lessons learned from promoting biofortified crops? And this is a question to all three of you, so I hope you can jump in. You want to start, Dr. Mohammed? You can start, yes. Mic is on.
Thank you. I am Dr. Abul Khair Mian, Chief Scientific Officer BRI, Bangladesh Agricultural Research Institute. I am very much little experienced in this type of program. I am scientist. I do research on biological sciences. We developed technology and sometimes we disseminate in farmers field, including some training, field days, and motivational works. Somehow I experience my knowledge regarding biofortification uh, regarding this session. There are two aspects. One is food fortification, another is biofortification. Food fortification, it is very easy. There are some mixer or admixture of uh, food products to increase or increase the nutrients. But in research, biological science research, we biofortified the product, that is crop. This is very difficult and very scientific. And the product uh, biologically fortified, that is more nutritious and very adjustable to the body and physiological function of the body, and this is very congenial to health development and hygienic, etc. About 30% people face foods insecurity in Bangladesh. Our government policy regarding this, at first, we should fulfill the demand of the food of all people. There should be access of the people to entrance the food market, that is food access. Another, we need nutritional food. Here is our theme, and we should concentrate in this aspect. Development of crop or food biologically, that is biofortification. There is two way. That is, one is breeding program or manipulation or gene transfer to increase the nutrients, where we expect that we should increase this nutrient or any nutritional aspects. Then we transfer this by conventional breeding or back crossing or gene transfer or genome editing. This is one way. Another way is that management practices, that is agronomic practices, optimum precision application of nutrient. What we want to increase, that can be done through agronomic management. In Bangladesh Agricultural Research Institute, we have some activities and developed some crop varieties. At first, BIRI, that is Rice Research Institute. I am not that institute, but it is in our scientific community. Biridhan 62, 64, 74, 84, 100 and 102. These 7 varieties are biofortified. That is, in case of zinc, these varieties are zinc rich. Here is a scope. The farmers level, those are smallholder farmers. They can produce and consume it directly. And in the commercial cases, some entrepreneur or company can come ahead and produce this rice as branded and can available in the market, and there is a um, indications that is gene in this, and there are some product nowadays it is market ACI zinc rich rice. It is available in Shopno and other uh, uh, shop. In the case of wheat, another crop, cereal crop, Bari Gom 33, it is also gene increase. Next, Bari Mosur 8, that is a lentil variety. This is zinc and iron rich. Zinc content 33 mg per kg and iron 72 mg per kg. And it can be commercialized or market and marketing for a biofortified product. Potato variety 101. This is anthocyanin rich and it is uh, cancer resistant. So it can be marketing as a biofortified product. Next, Bari sweet potato 1011, that is our carotene rich. This also can be marketed as a biofortified product. Seed wheat, a new era, that is blue economy. Bari developed two seaweed variety, Bari seaweed 1 and 2. Here has iodine. This is iodine rich and other mineral rich. And its solution is product in different companies and it can be more attractive and more expanding. All these varieties are climate resilient. When we developed a variety, then we consider it is location specific or a particular uh, aspects of development, that is nutrient rich or short duration or high yielding, etc. Nowadays, very small biofortified crop is marketing, that is only rice. Here is a scope of uh, uh, go forward with this biofortified crop for commercialization and as um, biofortified products. In future, Bari can do research uh, for development of more biofortified crop varieties because Bari do research on 211 crops. Some emphasis may be given in future to develop more biofortified crop variety. We can cooperate if the IFC on to collaborative research to development of variety and other aspect relevant this.
All right. Maybe we can also hear from private sector perspective on developing the bioversified varieties. Mohammed Rahman. You.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderators, and I'm really grateful to be participating in these sessions. I think our fellow panelist has said a lot of advanced technologies that we have been developed both from public and private sectors. And as you heard, that public sector is doing fantastic, both from BUDDI, BDs, and some other research institutes also. But very few examples are coming from the private sectors. And we're the one who are from ACIs and doing substantial research activities in our programs from the private sectors. And I hope we have some notable success through our research so far, and hopefully it will be continuing in the coming days also. So as he has covered most of the research innovations so far, or the output that we have developed for the farmers in case of biofortifications. And yes, of course, some fortifications examples also there. And you see, and since he has covered most of the things, I'm just going to share about what are the lessons we have experienced for the fields. And that I really wanted to share with you. The first thing is that you see, we have seen in the fields that our consumers, specifically in the nutrition perspectives, I mean, biofortification know-how is very less from the consumer point of views, meaning the awareness of the consumers about the biofortification, I mean, zincs, irons, and vitamins, all those things is very few. And this is something that we need to take in care in coming days, specifically by highlighting the communication in building awareness to the mass. That is one of the important factors. Second thing is that the variety must be aligned with the expectation of the farmers. Whatever nutrition we say that variety is enriched with these nutritions, but farmers basically is looking for yield, yield, and yield. Nowadays, they could be extended on some stresses, because if you really want to make our farmers profitable, either we'll have to increase the production or reduce the cost of production. Probably this kind of stresses, stress tolerance variety can be reduced their cost of productions. But yes, of course, we have seen this, our consumers so far, most of the consumers so far are not ready to pay for this nutrition. But yes, things are changing. Our consumer preferences also changing, and some of the urban consumers is ready to pay for this, and this is the recent development that we have seen. And you see, if you talked about the yield, we see this, our fellow panelists have said, in Boro, Biri has developed a variety called Bridhan 74. And these varieties, most growing varieties in the country. But the only criticism of these varieties is the grain quality is not matched as per the consumer expectations. So now we, private sectors, has aligned our resources and developed and released a variety called SA1, and that's a 100 days varieties is giving 6 metric ton yield, and these varieties is giving 25.12 milligram zinc per kgs, and which is a substantial amount of zinc that we have introduced in our product. I'm sure there's this grain size is also slender, and this variety will give a very good solution to the need of the mass consumers. And another important thing is the duration is less, and this variety is fit in the cropping pattern, because the potato growing area, especially Jaipurats and all those things, people used to grow even double crops in potato. So they needed short duration varieties, and 100 days 650 ton yield and high zinc, and then grain is also good, slender grain, and that's really fantastic proposition that we have bred from the private sectors. And I'm sure these technologies will help our farmers. And policy support, this is another important issue. So you see, uh, the government is buying paddy from this year in almond season. They declared 33 taka per kg, means 1320 taka per 40 kgs rice. But the policy is given emphasis on procurement of zinc and rich varieties? So far, no. So if the prices remain same, probably our farmers will not put their concentration that much. And this is the area probably policymakers should take care of it, and through this platform, I think this should be the recommendation from this platform to take care the fortified variety, biofortified varieties in a different price propositions. And yes, of course, building demand, that is another important aspect that we need to take in care. Probably both public, private, medias, and all those, we can have a collective efforts to promote biofortified crops and all those things. And of course, adaptability is another important issues, because we have bred so many varieties, but does the varieties is fit in the right conditions in right places? That is very important propositions. And probably adaptation is much more important to be addressed. And I think these are the learnings we have learned, and probably you have much more learnings from the fields, and hopefully these collective results will take care of in the future. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bharat, anything to add to that? It was quite comprehensive, but I'm sure you have additional thoughts.
Yeah, thanks Ludmila for this, and I hope I'm audible to the panel as well as the audience here. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks for inviting me to this panel. And as Mr. Rahman just concluded that, I totally concur with what he said. One of the challenges that we also encountered in the whole biofortification value chain or biofortification space, and experiencing it from the 6 countries where we operated in last 5 years, is that demand. So, our terminology for it is demand. So, what he said is consumer awareness. I think that's one of the most critical pieces that we have to, still have to solve. So the production aspect is there, and as he rightly said, and as earlier was also mentioned, that farmers are looking for yield, and I think that's the only thing that they will keep on looking at. You know, uh, we keep on going from different dimensions like livelihood, from irrigation support, and from agronomic support. But ultimately, end of the day, it's the yield that matters the most. We have experienced that in Bangladesh with Breedhan 74 as well as Badi Masoor 8. Both of these varieties are very excellent in production, and that's why farmers have adopted these. On the other hand, the market awareness, the consumption level market awareness of the consumers is still at a very nascent stage, and I think that needs to be addressed. And also the third point, I'll kind of double down on that. What he said is the policy support from the government. Uh, so there could be couple of ways of doing the policy support. One of them is, of course, increasing the procurement prices, but that's one of the, I mean, that's in most of the countries and most of the nations, it's a little political thing, and it involves a lot of stakeholder management. But I think one of the strategies that we have seen elsewhere and not in Bangladesh is that government invests a lot in the social safety programs, and that kind of gives a very large consumer base to these crops. Once that large consumer base is created, then you leverage the consumption, the demand pull from these consumer base, these social safety net programs. These could be school feeding programs, these could be public procurement systems, public distribution systems, and distribution to the BOPs. This is, I mean, at this stage, I'd like to just highlight these 3 points. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mila.
All right, thank you. So I hope we have a little bit better understanding what biofortification is and how it happens and what kind of challenges we can encounter on promoting on the way to promote biofortified varieties. I want to touch on some aspect that you mentioned that farmers, especially smallholder farmers, they frequently worried about the food and nutrition security. And to grow crops, to have food on our plates, we need farmers to be able to produce food, and they produce food in an effective manner in high yields. You also mentioned yields a lot. So maybe you can touch a little bit why investing in improving farmer nutrition is a smart investment for private sector. We know that it is a smart investment for public sector, right? The public good is pretty clear, but can we touch on how it is what is the business case for private sector companies to invest in farmer nutrition? Maybe private sector, who can start?
You see, the farmer are those, they are producing both biofortified varieties, and even they don't produce non-biofortified varieties. Again, these produce will come into the into the factories and then introgas fortifications and all those nutritions in there. But yes, of course, the prospects that we have seen, that in our earlier speaker also said that as a company, we have seen the prospect of both biofortified and fortified products. Both has a huge potentiality. Why I'm saying that? Because you see, probably a variety might have some zinc and rich varieties like SA Dhan 1. It is 100 days varieties. But if you talked about the Howard ecosystems, or if you talked about Gopalganj and Bagarhat and all those things where monocropped areas are there, probably they will not able to grow these varieties. But they could produce some varieties there. And these varieties has given some yields, and this can be even converted into fortification. And these also, moving to the consumer tables. So I think now the shifting consumers, general consumers are ready to, especially in urban area, ready to pay for the nutritions, and the health consciousness also changing significantly. And I'm sure this would be the business proposition. But yes, of course, as a company from the ACI, from the private sectors, we are also interested, and you already heard that we are in fortified rice, especially in Jira Shile, Najis Shile, and also Qatari. So this fortification has done, and we have launched these products through our channels, and by assuming the business cases. And of course, we are targeting biofortification also, because as I said, we are in rice. We have already developed 2 wheat varieties that is high gluten and high protein content percentage. And these varieties is given, over 5 metric ton yield per hectare. Whereas our, average national wheat yield is about 3.6 metric ton per hectares. So mostly 6 metric ton wheat per year we have imported because of meeting our local demand. But this high gluten percentage variety high gluten is actually used in the bakery industries. But you see, we are importing right now, meeting our demand. But now we have bred some varieties, and these varieties can help to meet our local demand. And the things is that now locally we can breed some varieties, and Buddy has rightly said, we also develop some of the beautiful varieties. I think this is the time to align in our plan strategies so that we can create a market both from public and private sectors. Thank you.
Very good call for action. Farad, anything to add? I know Gain has a lot of experience in that sense.
Yeah, I think I just want to add to the point that I mean, these are all stakeholders. So Bree is, of course, I mean, Body is doing a lot of excellent work in developing these varieties, coordinating with various CGIAR institutions and developing these varieties. And of course, I mean, there are companies like ACI which are there coming in the or they're already there in the biofortified space. But I think there needs to be a more holistic approach where all the stakeholders are taking up the different pieces of the work. So along the value chain from the research all the way to the consumer's plate, we have to carefully look at the nodes of these value chain and then kind of in a very collaborative manner work upon those things. It might not be possible to for one stakeholders to address all the nodes of the value chain. So I think from research, we go to the markets, we release the variety, there's a seed demand that's generated by the farmers, then production is there, then the processing of that is happening, then marketing, and then, of course, consumption is happening. So I think each stakeholder has a very distinct and very different role to play in along the value chain. And I think more collaborative efforts could be put in for increasing the consumption of these biofortified crops.
Thank you so much. Dr. Abul Khair, anything to add?
There are some disadvantages in fortified foods or processed foods. There needs additional involvement of cost. And another aspect, there may be some adulteration of different dishonest businessmen. So people are sometimes reluctant to this product, fortified products. But biological product, that is biofortification, there is no scope of that. There is no additional involvement of cost and no adulteration aspects. So it is more effective. In the case of malnutrition, mostly village people, rural people are faced in this problem. Their income is little and their food habit is some restricted in some crops. So they can easily utilize this biofortified technology or variety. They can supplement and they can recover their malnutrition problem, and the excess product they can sell in the market. There is good scope. So at farmers level, biofortified product is more effective, efficient, and we should collaboratively active to forward with this technology. Thank you.
Thank you. My last question before we turn to the audience would be around the successes in Bangladesh in promoting biofortified crops, because the idea is present in a lot of markets in a lot of countries. However, when it comes to commercialization, when it comes to getting crops to the farmers, getting the varieties to the farmers, there are a lot of hiccups. While in Bangladesh, we see a lot of success in that. So maybe we can talk about what are the successful strategies in bringing biofortified varieties to the farmers and growing them and making them available to larger population groups. And maybe I'll start with Farad. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that.
Thanks, Mila, again, and I'm sure I mean a lot of my Bangladesh colleagues are there in the audience, and they can definitely add to it. So two important. And I'll just talk about the Bangladesh experience and add a little bit from our experience in Africa. So two most critical things that we have seen are, one is at the production end. If we somehow are able to solve that puzzle. So with Department of Agriculture Extension, as for an example, we are working on Bari Masoor 8. That is right now we are working with DAE. And earlier we had worked with different millers and different seed providers for Breedhan 74. So one of the things that we have kind of seen and tried to address is that how do we solve this seed problem at the farmer's end? So, how do we convince farmer to use the seed? How do we tell farmers that these seeds are more better yielding, they are better in terms of nutrition, they are less water guzzling, or they are soil friendly, as in the case of Bari Masoor 8. So there needs to be a lot of focus on farmers adoption. Many times we just kind of we try to believe that we are going to tell farmer that this particular variety is yielding 3 tons more or 3 quintals more, and farmer will adopt it. But no, farmers have a lot of decision making metrics, how they actually choose a particular variety, how they go for it, the timing of sowing, and everything around that. So one piece of the puzzle is that we have tried to do that, and since we are not expert in that, DA is kind of pretty much involved in that. Government of Bangladesh through Department of Agriculture is doing excellent work there. So we collaborated with them. On the other side, which is the market side, which is the consumption side, again, we have kind of tried to do the same thing. And here we collaborated with DG Food. So now DG Food, which is dealing with the civil supplies and especially reaching out to the people at the very end of the value chain, um, and that's where I think the whole success lied. The success was that they have been able to procure Breathe Han 74 through specialized biofortified zinc rice gunny bags, and there was a distinct supply chain that was created for that. So these are the two pieces, and I'm just giving one example from Tanzania work where we have faced the same thing. So we tried to solve seed problem through a private company that was involved in the production of high iron bean seeds, and so they were taking care of the seed supply at the farmers end. On the other hand, government of Tanzania kind of introduced a new policy brief to include biofortified bean procurement in school feeding. So you see, I mean, what we essentially try to do is we try to collaborate with these different private stakeholders as well as the researchers at two different ends. At the seed, we try to collaborate with the researchers. At the civil supplies or market supplies or consumption level, we try to collaborate with the private players. So these are two successful strategies I think that have worked. Yeah, and at the same time, I'll just add the third piece here, which is the demand generation. So we did a lot of demand generation work among the consumers, and these are the producers, of course. These are the farmers are also consumers. We have done this kind of work in Africa as well as in Asia, and in Bangladesh again. This kind of awareness, this kind of consumer demand creation is has also proven as a success. Yeah, thanks.
All right, thank you so much, and thanks for highlighting the importance of private sector being involved and how it is key to the success. Dr. Abulkhair, anything to add to that? Comment you have? Okay, please.
Moreover, that I have told earlier, Bari developed some minor cereal varieties, that is barley, millet, proso millet, etc. These are very nutrient rich and low glycine index, and this is better for diabetic patient. So there are many products produced by post harvest technology department and breeding department of BRI. So a small entrepreneur or company can come ahead with us. We can help giving the technology, and in case of the finance, the donor IFC can support in this case. And if we go together, we can success in future. Another aspects, we need policy. How will go forward with the bio fortified product and formulated or processed product or fortified product. We should have policy. Here we think that you may a seminar or seminar with the high official or authority or decision maker of the government, BRC, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Food, Food Safety Authority, and institutional head of different research or food producer, DAE, etc. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks for highlighting the opportunity to collaborate and importance of IFC. Mr. Haman, anything from your side on this?
No, the things is that you see, technologies is so far we have developed both from public and private, but reaching technology to the remote is very important. And therefore you need to build your communication strategies. So communication is something, it's not that just we say it, that is a fortified crops or biofortified crops, that is not enough. So the things is that the biofortification is very easy to reach if the variety filter, differentiated trade within it, probably the communication is very easy among reaching, we can be ensured the faster reachings. But when it is a issues of fortification, probably you need to put more efforts and you need to aware your consumers by showing the benefit of the fortifications. But you see, again, the large group of consumers is actually confused what we are receiving out of this. Either biofortification, the product that we receive from biofortification, or product that we receive from fortifications. How does it works? So it is something that we call it, whatever we see, we believe it. But it is something that we cannot see. Now the question is how we believing it. In the morning session, somebody says when doctor is prescribed, then probably our confidence is little high. We put our little trust on that. But this is something that just you people are very learned audience here. Just ask yourself either how frequently you are taking these fortified crops or biofortified crops. That's the issues. Even if you don't know where the biofortified crops are available, foods are available. And this is also a very important things that should be aligned with our communications. Probably you see this is the time to be taken care of our health concerns and nutrition perspectives also. So both from public, private, and donor agencies, we all together can address these issues, and probably we can help our farmers to safe, to healthy, and of course our future generation that are coming, that this is our responsibility to take care of them also. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we do have time for Q&A, and depending on the number of questions, we can either bundle them or address one by one. We have Katerina here with the mic, so just indicate, raise the hands. All right, so maybe we can bundle the three questions together and then we answer them.
Hello, everyone. This is Hasib from ACI. And Piston is a nice moderation. We know what to do, but thing is, government is here, private sector is here, international financial corporation and other financial institutions are here. So question is, what co-creation exactly can make now? Because good events are going on, good learnings are taking away, good challenges are addressed to overcome, but what co-creation to create to address the solution is has to now take place, and who will take the lead and who will play what role? That is my question. Any of you can answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's bundle a couple of questions. I think we may run out of time if we address them one by one.
Thank you. My question is from the gentleman from the government. Can you talk more about the seaweed? You mentioned that you guys have your own in-house seaweed, or if you can talk more, maybe 2 minutes on where you're sourcing it, why, is it in collaboration with other countries? Thank you.
And there was one more. Let's take this one and then get back to the panel.
Hello. Yeah, this is Kamrujaman from Chamchala Limited. My question is to our chief scientist. You are saying about cancer-resistant rice. Can you name the rice again? Firstly, secondly, to which extent it is cancer-resistant? That is, how much it is resistant. Thirdly, is it available in the market? If no, is there any plan for that? That's it. Thank you.
Right. We have another round. I see your hand. So maybe we can start with the first question. So what's the room for co-creation and who should take the lead? And then there are two questions for our Bari representative. So who wants to take the stab at the first question?
Thank you. I think so that's a wonderful questions. Probably this is one of the area that we should address. The thing you might be known about the fact that we have a Department of Agriculture Extensions, and their prime job is to, giving the extension services to the farmers. So the things is that you see, they have about 20 to 25,000 extension workers are there, and they are basically promoting technology and making a bridge between the farmers and the research institute who are developing technologies. So probably when there is a issues of communications, so they have done wonderful, because so far these extension peoples are doing fantastic, and for the progress of Bangladesh, they have a huge contributions. But probably this is this is the time probably we will have to relook the issues, how we can further added value to be addressing these communications. Probably now there was a time the technologies are only coming from the public sectors, and their mandate is to communication these technologies and giving the services to the farmers. But now technology is also coming from the private sectors. And this technology is also very competitive and very, differentiated product. And now probably this is the time we'll have to make them convinced about our technologies and to be communicated these technologies to the remote, to the farmers. This is one. Second things is that whenever you talked about the communications, there is some cost. So from the private sector, probably we are not afford that much cost to be communicated. So this is one of the area where donor agencies or public sectors or government can intervene to make sure the technologies, the end user should get benefit as quick as possible. Because if you, lost some time to make available technology to the farmers, probably we are losing money. So now this is the time. So co-creation is very much needed by stakes, and we should ensure the benefit of the technology for the farmers. Thank you.
And maybe I'll jump in from IFC perspective. There's definitely room for co-creation and for doing more. Malnutrition is still an issue here in Bangladesh and globally. And that is signal for us that we need to continue putting more effort, more finance, more investment, more technical assistance to different players involved. And yeah, from IFC side, we can offer financial services, we can offer advisory services to reach smallholder farmers, to reach other farmers, and yeah, we can definitely collaborate in reaching those goals of this bigger, broader, noble goal of addressing food and nutrition security. All right, Dr. Abul Khair, you have two questions on your plate.
Thank you. At first, about seaweed, BRI Research Institute developed two seaweed variety. This is nutrient rich and iron rich. Our OFRD One Fund Research Division firstly adopted technology at farmers level or entrepreneurs. In the case of seaweed, some small farmers, they come and they produce the product. Another, if you visit Khulna, there is a seaweed process industry, a big man. He has many investment and produce seaweed product, and it is very nutritious. Second question, I have told anthocyanin rich potato, not rice. Anthocyanin is a pigment that have capacity to resistant cancer. If you see, it is in the internet, anthocyanin activities and physiological function in the body, how it acts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we have time for another round of questions. I saw there was a hand patiently waiting there.
Thank you. Let me introduce myself. I am Guljar Ahmed, Country Program Manager, Food Fortification of TechnoServe. So I am not asking question. I am just providing feedback on the discussion regarding the comparison between biofortification and industrial fortification. So I found that there was a bit debate between these two, which is better, which is not. But the thing is different. Biofortification is suitable for single micronutrient. Whatever is developed in the country is zinc fortified rice. But in case of industrial fortification, there are multiple micronutrients. And even so far I know that this biofortified zinc fortified rice is not available throughout the country. Even the variety is not well reached to the farmers. So whenever the fortified zinc biofortified rice is available throughout the country, then the standard of the industrial fortification can be reviewed and zinc can be excluded from that multiple micronutrients. So that is my suggestion. So as this is a forum for discussion for overall food fortification, not only biofortification, that's why I intended to disrupt this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Catherine, there is one more hand over there. And he, okay, we gentleman here and gentleman over here. Okay.
Good afternoon. This is Dr. Jagat Chandmalakar. Panel speaker rightly said, I am from Department of Agricultural Extension. I have completed 30 years jobs. My duty was just to disseminate the technology among the farmers. Since morning, I have learned many things from these discussions, valuable discussions from the experienced people. But I have to say, regarding the fortifications, I am not pass any contradictory comments. It's necessary because our research institute, Mr. Khair rightly said, he developed many gene fortified varieties. That's the biofortifications. Industrialists, they are adding the multiple trace element for human being like this. But I have to say, if you want to get accessible to the general mass people, I mean the marginal people, is it accessible to the marginal people? Regarding the marketing, 4 P's is essential. Product, quality product, biofortified product, price, competitive price, place, and promotion, like this. So in Bangladesh, there is no problem regarding the iodide salt. But in context of our economy and the mental attitude of the human being also. Business well providing service, I have no doubt at all, but there are some exceptions. Who will, I have a question, who will monitor these activities? If you
Who will
say,
monitor what? Excuse me.
who will monitor these activities?
These activities.
Yes, if Food Safety Authority, are they competent? Do we have the ISO accredited laboratory? Answer is no. I raised this issue first forum meetings that's held in Sonarga. Probably Mr. Hars conducted that sessions. If you want to launch this program, you have to empower the people who will monitor the activities, who will tell the cat, rightly said. Regarding the food and nutrition security, for the safe food and nutrition security in Bangladesh, I have worked near about 34 years at the root level. The farmer field school level, food and nutrition, on the basis of food class, 3 groups. 3 groups of food. You have to ensure that 100 days when a mother pregnant, ensure the food. You have to ensure the food of lactating children also. You have to give the extra food to the lactating mother also. Our brain development in the juvenile stage, 2 years. So attention should be given there. Regarding the food security, access of food, availability of food, equal distribution. In our country, there have the some mental misconceptions. Girl children always taking the less food, so they malnutrient. You see in your family, you have 2 brother or sister. Sister is dwarf. Why? That's the questions. So I have questions to you. if you launch the fortification program, already been launching, you just empowered the authority to monitor this, and businessmen should come forward with transparency. Thank you very much for your giving me time.
Thanks so much for
Thank you.
highlighting these very important aspects. I think we can take one more question and we'll get back to our experts.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Shafiur Rahman, Associate Professor and Head of the Department, Food Engineering and Nutrition Science, State University of Bangladesh. My question is, I'm scared about safety. That because of biofortification or plant breeding or biotechnology or genetically modified, everything I appreciate today's discussion, and I'd like to thanks for this discussion. I'm scared that because of in Bangladesh, is there any laboratory or already my previous speaker said about the accredited laboratory to check out the safety of the genetical part, especially if you plant breeding or biofortification, then you must select the stem cell or any other things to plant breeding or biofortification. So genetical safety is very important. If it is genetically modified, then in human cell, the cancer cell or any other things may be opposite reaction, cell proliferation like this reaction. So we have to think the standard traceability and the laboratory for ensuring the safety of the biofortification and targeted fortification or synthetic fortification. And we also have to ensure the safety of the source cell from where we are collected the micronutrient or where we are collected the stem cell. These parts, we have to first ensure the safety and then we can go forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, I just want to acknowledge the first comment, and I think we can all agree that biofortification and industrial food fortification are not either or, they can be complementary to each other. And yeah, I would really appreciate our experts to chime in on accountability and monitoring and safety of the material.
Thank you. About laboratory, BRI has developed laboratory biotechnology, gene transfer, identification, their position sense, etc. And two accredited laboratory, pesticide residue and related other nutrients, and another pathological laboratory that is also accredited. This is international standard, and we can check all the variation from the original on variation or change of original. We can find out it. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I?
Please.
Thank you. Since you are very conscious about the safeties. So far, technology that you have discussing about, I think none of the technologies are coming from GMO, genetically modified. So all the products are coming from traditional breedings, conventional breedings, or some markers selections or breeding, both from BD, BADI, or even SCI. So this is purely science. So there is no genetical modification intervention out there. But regarding, yes, technologies is there. Some GM crops also, Bangladesh also, BADI also released for BT brinjals. And this variety also scaling up. And some of the new technologies are available. And I'm sure that when we buy brinjal from the market, and whenever the fruit and fruit borer infestations are there in the fruits, probably no consumers are ready to buy this infested one. Why? Because it's not look good and we feel that there is insects. But the Bacillus thuringiensis is that gene that we have collect from the bacteria and making a resistance of fruit and fruit borer resistance. But you see, and because of the resistance, the fruit and fruit borer are not there. But you see, there are a group of people who are talking about the safeties and all those things. And in South Asian, I mean, this part of the world, some of the countries has released, but some of the countries, if you talked about the golden rice that has released by the Philippines, and BIRI has done a lot of works on this, and these varieties also in releasing process. So far, it was also not released. So government also concerned about this. But about genome editing technologies, CRISPR-Cas and all those things, the edited technologies has been approved by the European Union also. So I think technology developed through these genome editing technologies, or through the conventional or the modern breeding background, there probably is no harm for health and there is no issues for safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Brad, any parting thoughts from your side on what's been discussed, or maybe anything that we have missed?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's such an enriching conversation. I just wanted to address that thing about fortification, large scale fortification or industrial fortification and biofortification. I think you're absolutely right that these are complementary strategies, and at Gain we have a larger fortification umbrella under which we house both of these, and we make sure that these are working together. And one of the things that I was also thinking I'll add here is that biofortification is also not about single micronutrient enrichment. It's like, for example, Breathe is both rich in zinc as well as iron, and same is Masoor. Bari Masoor 8 is rich in zinc as well as iron. So again, we have to see the complementarity of these approaches, the industrial fortification as well as biofortification, because the end goal is to make sure that the micronutrient deficiencies are addressed. So you are addressing them through a very safe and very traceable process through industrial fortification, or you are doing that at a mass scale with all the costs involved. I think they are very important to look at from that angle. Yeah, that's just I wanted to add. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think from the private sector, so ACI, one of the leading conglomerates in the countries, is addressing both biofortifications and fortifications. So technologies is there, and we are open to adopt the technologies, and we should ensure the benefit of the technology. So therefore, we are both in biofortifications and also in fortification. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot to our distinguished guests, Dr. Abu Khair, Mr. Haman, Bharat. Thanks a lot. It was very insightful, and also thanks a lot to the audience. Very important points have been raised. Indeed, there are tremendous benefits to biofortified crops being in place and being multiplied and being scaled up. From nutrition benefits to all the additional benefits in terms of being drought resistant, pest resistant, bringing higher yields. But it's not enough to just have a variety in place. There's a lot of work that needs to be done along the value chain in terms of educating the producer, educating the consumer, bringing nutrition education to the population. And I hope this discussion inspired all of you to come up with more creative solutions to promote food and nutrition security in Bangladesh and beyond. And maybe biofortification and other farm level solutions will be part of that. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Murad.